Hello, so in this video I want to run through factor tree or prime factors using factor trees, highest common multiple and highest common factor, lowest common multiple. So what we'll do is we're going to be looking for the highest common factor and lowest common multiple of 24 and 56. Okay, so if we start by creating factor trees for each of these. So a factor tree is basically a method of breaking this number down into its prime factors. So what we have to do is start by thinking of pairs of numbers which would multiply together to make 24. So we could go 1 and 24, but we won't use that because we'd just end up back where we started. 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6, and that would be all of them. So for the purpose of this, we'll go with 4 and 6. So we pop that under there, and that gives us our first set pair. Because neither of those are prime numbers, and a prime number is basically a number which you'll only find in its own times table and the one times table, so it's only got two factors, okay? And because neither of those are prime, what we need to do is give them both a new branch. So now we need to think of numbers that multiply together to make 4 and numbers that multiply together to make 6. So 4 is going to need to be 2 times 2, and 6 can be 3 times 2, okay? And each one of those is prime, so we'll pop them all into a circle. Okay, so that's 24 done. Now we need to do the same with 56. And 56 can be made from doing 7 times 8. Okay, and 7's prime, so we can instantly pop that into a circle. Next thing we need to do is decide on two numbers that multiply together to make 8, so we'll go 4 times 2. And again, 2 is prime, so we'll pop that in the circle and we'll split the 4. And the 4 will divide into 2 and 2. Okay, so those are the prime factors of 24 and 56. So the next thing we need to do to find the highest common factor and lowest common multiple is create a Venn diagram like this. On this side, we'll put 24. On this side, we'll pop 56. Okay. Now our next step is to put everything that they have in common in the middle. So with 24, we've got 2, 2, 3, and 2. And with 56, we've got 7, 2, 2, 2. So we'll put the 3 2's in the middle. So we've used those, used that, we've used those. With the 24, we've still got a 3 left, so we'll put that here. And with the 57, 56, we've got a 7 left. So we'll pop that there. To find the highest common factor, what we do is we take these numbers in the middle here, which are shared, and multiply them together. So we'll end up with 2 times 2 times 2, which give us 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. So the highest common factor of 24 and 56 is 8. So that means the highest number that both of those would divide into is 8. I'll just give us a bit more space for the next bit. Okay, so for the next one, actually I'll get rid of that as well. To find the lowest common multiple, we've got two options. We can either go 3 times 56. So we take everything that's in the left hand, which has been left over from the 24, and times it by the 56, which would give us 168. Or we can go 7 times 24. So that would be taking this and multiplying it by this. And that would also give us 168. So whichever one you decide to use is going to give you the same answer. It won't make any difference at all. If we had, so the lowest common multiple is basically, if you were to go through the times tables, that's the first one where you'd find, or that's the first answer you'd get. That's the first one that both of those numbers would have in their first time, that they would both have in their times table. So if we were to have a different example, say we had, I just put a 12 here and a 5 and a 2 here, and we needed to find the lowest common multiple of this, what we would do this time is we would take the 5 and the 2 from here and the 12 from there, and we would go 5 times 2 times 12, which give us the lowest common multiple of 120. Okay. Oops, squeeze that in. Hopefully that makes sense. There is a worksheet that goes alongside this. If you'd like it, just drop me an email, info at, let's do it like this, info at Clara James Tutoring, .co.uk, and I will happily drop it across to you. Have a great afternoon.